Unlock your dream property with Meeks Realty Group, where Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality. Whether it's residential or commercial, we've got Charleston to Huntington covered. Your key to exceptional real estate experiences start here. Meeks Realty Group. Contact us at meeks.us.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Hey folks, a good Monday morning to you. Welcome to the show. Hollywood Jeff Petty is our producer today. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Fruit Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. We do the show from the Par-Mar Store studio. If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. Par-Mar invites you to the West Virginia Strawberry Festival in Buchanan. Now, this Friday and Saturday, Par-Mar will be there with the West Virginia Lottery from 10 till 7 each day. Plus, while you're in town, be sure to stop by the donut spot in Buchanan and check out there just for the Strawberry Festival donut. It's a strawberry shortcake donut. There's not a Par-Mar store near you now. There will be soon. We do, and the show is brought to you by the Thornhill Auto Group, including Thornhill GM Superstore. Chevy truck season rolls on. If you're ready for the truck that can handle any job, you need the new 2024 Chevy Silverado. Get 2.9% APR for 72 months for well-qualified buyers, or a $5,000 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Must qualify for offers through GM Financial. See them for all the details. Thornhill GM Superstore. Together, let's drive. Click or come by thornhillgmsuperstore.com or on the road to total savings, US 119 in Chapmanville. As you may imagine, we have candidates. We got a few this morning. Scott James, current mayor of St. Albans, who's hoping to be reelected, is standing by. We'll get to him in a matter of moments. We'll also be talking with Casey Sachs. Now, you've heard her on the show before in her role as president of Bridge Valley, but she also wants to add Kanawha County board member to her resume. We'll be talking to her, plus Ashley Deem, candidate for judge here in Kanawha County, is on the show, as is Deb Rusnak, who's a candidate for prosecuting attorney in Kanawha County. But before we get to all that, mid-afternoon on Friday came the word that longtime Kanawha County Commissioner Kent Carper had resigned effective immediately Friday from his post. Now, we've all heard and we've discussed on the show in the past the allegations against Commissioner Carper. 1 year ago this month, he was accused of exposing himself in the middle of the day at Daniel Boone Park. Further alleged that he offered the significant other of the police officer who investigated the claim a job within county government. It appears now, based on the statement that was issued by the guest prosecuting attorney, David Wanley, who was brought in as a special prosecutor on the case, that there will be no charges filed. The same basic sentiment from the Office of U.S. Attorney of the Southern District, Will Thompson. Now, the question is now, though, what happens to the Carper candidacy? To the surprise of a lot of folks, Commissioner Carper did file to run for re-election, and there have now been 10 days of early voting, and no doubt there were votes cast for Kent Carper, and surely there are going to be more cast tomorrow. He does have opposition in the primary in the form of former Secretary of State Natalie Tennant. So, again, the question is what happens next? I want to bring in Deke Kersey. Mr. Kersey is the legal counsel for the West Virginia Secretary of State's office. He joins us now. Deke, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Morning, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. So we'll get right to it. What happens? Obviously, Kent Carper's name will remain on the ballot tomorrow. It was on the ballot for the rest of Friday after his resignation during early voting, and for the final day of early voting on Saturday. Polls open at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. Commissioner Carper will remain on the ballot. So basically, Deke, what happens next?
Well, we have an election tomorrow.
Indeed we do.
That's right. Because his name's still on the ballot, voters can vote for him. And if he wins the race, he is the nominee for the Democratic Party.
Okay, so, but he's not going to run. And I can tell you, I mean, well, he's already running, but he's not going to serve. He's already announced his resignation. So what happens? What's the process like?
Well, if he decides not to run in the general election, he's got to make that decision after the election is certified. So assuming it's all remains the same, in a couple of weeks, we could have a withdrawal form filed by any candidate. But if it's Mr. Carper, in that case, you'd file his withdrawal, and that creates a vacancy and nomination on the ballot. From there, code actually provides that the county executive committee for that political party would nominate the individual to run in the general election for that seat.
Okay. So Natalie Tennant is the former Secretary of State. She's the only other Democrat that I'm aware of that is running for that position. So if Natalie Tennant gets more votes tomorrow than Kent Carper on the Democratic ticket, then it's all a moot point, right?
Yeah, exactly. If some other candidate wins the nomination, then they're the candidate.
Well, and Mr. Carper has served for quite a while in that role, and I was out and about on Saturday, and I didn't see a whole lot of Kent Carper signs being taken down. So there will be people that will still vote for him. And I know you're not in on this. I just wanted to get you to talk about the election aspect of it. But this is not unprecedented, Deke. I mean, because this is situations similar to this have happened before.
Oh, yeah, we have candidates withdraw from the general election every election for various reasons. Someone might move out of state, move out of district, personal reasons, choose not to run, health reasons. There's all sorts of reasons candidates withdraw. The process for filling the vacancy and nomination varies a bit between the different offices, but normally a county executive committee is involved or there's a special candidate filing period. But here for county commission, it is just simply the county executive committee would make the nomination to the ballot. All
right, Deke, it's complicated stuff, but I knew you're the guy that knows about it. I appreciate you being here trying to clear it up for us, man. We'll see what happens. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, glad to help. Good talking to you, Dave.
Yeah, as well. Deke Kersey again from the West Virginia Secretary of State's office. 9:13, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. The current mayor of St. Albans, Scott James, joins us now in the Par Mar Store studio. Mr. Mayor, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dave. Thank you for having me on.
How many terms have you served as mayor?
2 so far.
And going for 3.
Going for 3.
Why do you want to continue to be the mayor of St. Albans?
Well, with the progress that we've made in St. Albans, we've put St. Albans back on the map. I mean, when in 2023 you're listed in the Forbes TripAdvisor as one of the top 50 places to visit worldwide, good things are happening. And we want to continue that, and we still have more work to do. So I want to keep moving St. Albans forward and make it even a better community than it is right now.
Talk about some of the things, Mayor, that you're particularly proud of during your first couple of terms as mayor.
Well, there's several, but, we got the new police station built. They went from an 1,100 square foot police station to a 16,500 square foot state-of-the-art police station. The boat dock over at Roadside got built. About 43 dilapidated structures have been torn down, including the old St. Albans Junior High, which was an eyesore in our community for 32 years. Another one I'm very proud of is in 6 years, we increased B&O tax collections by over $1 million. And in a community of our size, that's pretty big.
Talking with Scott James, again, 2-term mayor of the city of St. Albans, who wants to be reelected come Election Day tomorrow. So, look, and we don't put the cart before the horse, and I know it's kind of bad juju, to talk about what you want to do. But if you are elected, if the voters choose you for a 3rd term, what do you want to work on next?
Well, one of the big things that we're going to work on the water and sewer side is we have created a priority list of projects that need to be done. We're like every other community in the United States. Our infrastructure is old. It's outdated. Sometimes we're just putting Band-Aids on it. So we're going to have to replace a lot of the infrastructure, the water, the sewer lines, things like that in St. Albans to bring them up to modern-day standards. We want to continue the economic growth in St. Albans. We want to continue bringing people to our community, not only to visit, but to live. When people get here, because of the fact that we've torn down a lot of dilapidated structures, and we've got another list. We got another grant from DEP this year, so there's more coming down. I want to say that anybody that's got dilapidated property near them and they're concerned about it, call the building department and see if it's on the list. we want to continue to reduce crime. You know, in 2019 and 2023, St. Albans was listed as the safest city in West Virginia. Crime has gone down every year in St. Albans, except for during COVID. You know, people were kind of on edge there, and it jumped up a little bit then, but it's back down. But we've still got to make more progress in that area. So we want to continue doing the things that we have done to make St. Albans what it is today versus where it was when we took office.
And I will say this, as somebody, I do spend some time in St. Albans. I was actually down there last Monday night for a St. Albans Chamber event, and there does seem to be a vibe in St. Albans, especially like in the downtown areas. I mean, you got restaurants and coffee shops and things of that nature, a lot more than what there used to be there.
Well, there really is. You know, on Old Main alone, there were 8 empty buildings when I took office. We have 1 now. But, you know, we're fortunate with, you know, the established businesses, but also these young entrepreneurs that have taken a chance, and it's paid off not only for them, but for the city of St. Albans. And, Dave, again, I had to reinvent. I thought when I got in office, I was going to call Cheddar's or I was going to call one of these chains, and they were coming to St. Albans. Well, they look at logistics, interstate access, traffic count, things like that. And so I had to start doing things to bring people to St. Albans. And once they come, they keep coming back. You can see that in the evenings down there on Old Main. You know, it's packed. You can't hardly find a parking spot.
Where can people learn more about your campaign? You got a Facebook or website?
Yeah, Mayor Scott James Facebook page. We don't have a website. We've got a Mayor Scott James Facebook page. And, you know, Dave, this election comes down to substance versus negativity. This has been a very, very, very negative race. I have stayed above the fray. My wife, I was typing on it many times. My wife said, do not respond. So I'd erase it and go from there. But it's personal attacks. You know, tell the people of St. Albans what you're going to do to make St. Albans a better place. Don't attack me personally. That affects me, my family, and everything else. All right. I've stayed above the fray to this point. Hope to continue to do so. But if people step back, I don't care if you like me or not. Step back and objectively look at where St. Albans was July 1st, 2017, and where it is today. You can't argue with the progress and the success our administration has had. And when I say our administration, it's not just me. City council, employees, volunteers, that's what makes a community a great community.
Give me 30 seconds. Why should someone vote to keep Scott James as mayor of St. Albans?
Let's keep St. Albans moving forward. If you want St. Albans to continue to grow and be a player in West Virginia, all right, and be a community that you can be proud of, all right, vote Scott James number 5 on the ballot tomorrow to keep this progress moving forward.
Mayor Scott James, I appreciate you being here, man. We'll talk again soon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dave.
Hang out with me just 1 second
Yes,
here.
sir.
It's 9:20. In the heart of West Virginia, there exists a profound force that goes beyond the realm of sports, transcending limitations and fostering a sense of belonging. Special Olympics, what I'm talking about, a remarkable initiative showcased in the latest episode of West Virginia Enriched in collaboration with Huntington stands as a testament to the power of determination, unity, and unwavering support. See a video highlighting the Special Olympics at facebook.com/580WCHS. Of the Dave Allen Show and 580 Live is brought to you in part by General Hardware of Winfield and Milton, General Lumber of Winfield, planning a project. Please remember to shop them. Shop locally. They're also hiring. Stop by any location for details. Visit GeneralHardwareWV.com. Dr. Casey Sachs, candidate for Kanawha County Board of Education. Coming up next, back after this from the Parmar Store Studio on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses have been creating jobs in West Virginia since 1997.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I am often asked, what is the value of my case? The answer, of course, depends on your injuries, liability, and the damages to you financially. And it also very much depends on the law firm you hire to represent you. All firms are not the same. For over 30 years, Morgan & Morgan has been here at your time of need. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Office 222 Capitol Street, Charleston. Cases will be handled by West Virginia licensed attorneys. The attorney in this ad is not licensed in West Virginia. ForThePeople.com.
Dwayne Duncan is a Republican running for Kanawha County Commission. We know that we can trust Republican Dwayne Duncan to deliver for Kanawha County families. Dwayne Duncan wants lower taxes, more jobs, and will fight the crime problem in Kanawha County. Dwayne Duncan is a Republican and proven job creator. Taxes are too high for Kanawha County. Let's vote to keep more of our hard-earned money. Let's vote for Republican Dwayne Duncan for Kanawha County Commission. Paid for by Dwayne Duncan for Kanawha County Commission. Tori Takubo, Treasurer.
We are professional grade. If you're up for the challenge, then you need to visit Thornhill GM Superstore on the Thornhill Motor Mile and get treated like a pro with the best deals on new GMC Sierra trucks and the new 2024 GMC Terrain. Go pro, but don't prolong. Qualified buyers can enjoy 3.9% for 60 months or an additional purchase allowance of up to $2,250 and no payments for 90 days. Get on the move. Go pro with Thornhill GM Superstore on the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 Chapmanville, and ThornhillGMSuperstore.com. Author GM Financial. Visit Thornhill for all details.
Hi, I'm David McCormick, owner of Omega Commercial Interiors. We'd like to thank you, West Virginia, for making us the #1 office furniture and commercial interiors company in West Virginia. Remember, when you're looking for quality office furniture and space planning for healthcare, corporate offices, or even a private office, call us and buy local. Omega Commercial Interiors. We're a proud West Virginia company. Visit us online at OmegaCommercialInteriors.com in Morgantown and Charleston.
Our children and families deserve leaders on the Kanawha County Board of Education, and Kate White is a leader that our families can trust. Kate White fights for safer schools for our kids and the best education for our children and teachers in Kanawha County. Kate White is a wife, a mother, and a leader in our community. Kate White understands our families and will deliver a world-class education for all of us. Let's vote for better education and a brighter future in Kanawha County. Let's vote for Kate White for Kanawha County Board of Education, paid for by the committee to elect Kate White for school board.
924, the Dave Allen Show at 580 Live, presented in part by Pinnacle Consultants. Whether you're replacing a roof, remodeling the kitchen, or replacing a bathroom, keep it safe, keep it legal. Get with Pinnacle Consultants. They can inspect your site, collect samples, perform lab analysis, and provide results within about a week. Testing all renovations for mold, asbestos, and lead is the law in the state. Visit PinnacleCorp.net for Pinnacle Consultants, because what you don't know can hurt you. Hollywood Jeff Petty is our producer today. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline, 304-345-5858. Fruit Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. Text says, Mayor James is a true leader. He has made St. Albans a beautiful place to live, work, and to raise a family. St. Albans is on the move, according to a texter. I think there may be like 127 people running for Kanawha County Board of Education. That may be a bit of an exaggeration. But Dr. Casey Sachs, you know her as president of Bridge Valley, but she also wants to add board member to her list of titles. She joins us now. Dr. Sachs, good morning, and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dave. It's nice to be here with you today.
Thank you for joining us. Now, you're a regular on the show in your role as president of Bridge Valley, but just like I do with all candidates, for those who may not know you, give us the bio on Dr. Casey Sachs.
You bet. So I was working as the vice chancellor for the Community and Technical College System here in West Virginia, and I got invited to come to D.C., where I worked at the United States Department of Education with career and technical education. So that's serves K-12 and higher ed, helping students get the skills they need to enter the workforce. We also, my office also handled prison education, adult education, and community colleges. So I did that until January of 21, when I came back to West Virginia, worked again with the Higher Ed Policy Commission for a couple of months before starting as the president here at Bridge Valley.
So now with all of that, why do you want to serve on the Board of Education in Kanawha County?
So after I came back to West Virginia, I came back knowing so much more about what other states did and what was possible, and I just saw that there were a lot of partnerships and ways that we could align the K-12 system with the higher ed system. I come in with a lot of expertise in school finance and recognize that we just need a lot more partnerships to leverage some of the resources that exist to make our schools better. We just can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. And so I decided you can't just complain about something. If you want to change it, you have to get involved, which is why I started to run.
Talking with Dr. Casey Sachs again, who's a candidate for Board of Education in Kanawha County. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Husson's Pizza. This month is your favorite Husson's. Get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and an order of cinnamon bites with icing. Only $20.99 at your favorite Husson's. So I guess, Dr. Sachs, the obvious elephant in the room is this a conflict of interest with you being the president of one of the leading institutions of higher learning in the state, now wanting to serve on a public Board of Education?
I love that you asked, and I really love how you asked it. Thanks, Dave. We think we're one of the best institutions of higher education in the state, too, here at Bridge Valley. So I asked the Ethics Commission because that was a concern that I know that some of my staff also shared, that it was like, well, is this a conflict of interest? So we got a ruling from the Ethics Commission, and you can read it on their website or on my website. But the short answer is no, that they ruled that it is not a conflict of interest, that there are not decisions that I could make on the Kanawha County Board of Education that would impact my work, either as a college president or as a person who's running a charter school in the county. I asked for both.
Are you concerned about the time crunch?
It's 2 meetings a month. So in terms of the actual time commitment, we're talking about meetings, which I'm for sure an expert at. But I think the alignment is really great with the college and with the expertise that I already have in education. I know my husband's a little bit worried about the time crunch because he recognizes it means it's a lot more stuff that I'll be reading at night. But I'm just really excited about the opportunity. There's so many things we can do to help make our schools better.
How's the campaign been so far? And when you're out and about, whether you're door knocking or you're just talking to people at forums or so on and so forth, what do you hear from the public?
People have been incredibly supportive. And one of the nicest compliments I got from somebody recently was, I'm voting for you because I'm shocked by how many really different people have told me they like you. I think that's one of the features of my campaign, that I am a Republican. That's not a big secret to anybody. I worked at the United States Department of Education in a Republican administration. And so people know that largely about me. But what I've been really honored by is how many of my Democrat friends have also said, oh, no, you're absolutely the best choice, and we're really excited to vote for you. It's been such an honor, and people have been incredibly warm and incredibly inviting.
With all this experience that you have, not only serving as Bridge Valley, but all these other things that you've done in your life, how do you think that helps you if you're elected to the Board of Education? What will you bring to the table based on your experiences, not the things that you've done in your life?
I think it really helps me understand how we can make our schools better. So one example, and it's not immediately school related, but if you'll bear with me, I'll connect the dots. As a taxpayer, you're paying for 2 busing systems. You pay for KRT to run buses, and you pay for Kanawha County Schools to run buses. And wouldn't it be amazing if, like so many other capital cities, we decided as the school district that we were going to partner with KRT and ask KRT to start running our school buses? It would let us have better routes. It would let us pay bus drivers more. It would allow families to say, gosh, I live in Montgomery, but I really want my kid to go to GW High School for one reason or another. You could go to any of the schools in the entire district if you had meaningful transportation to get you there. Right now, while we have open enrollment across the district, it's unrealistic for a family that lives in Poca to be able to make a different decision besides going to Poca High School. And if that's what they want, that's amazing. But if it's not what they want, if there isn't a program there or their kid's not getting along there or it's just not working out for whatever reason, if you don't have real transportation, that's your only option. And so by partnering with KRT, we really could do this isn't groundbreaking. It's not like other capital cities don't already do this, but it would be really new for us, and it would let us make some really meaningful changes in both the amount of money that we can pay our bus drivers and the way that we allow families to access schools.
Do you have a website or social media that you'd like to throw out there where people can learn more about you?
I do. My website is caseysachs.com.
All right, final 30. Dr. Sachs, why should the voters on Election Day tomorrow, why should they vote to put Casey Sachs on the Board of Education here in Kanawha County?
Nobody else has as much education experience as I do, that both at the local level and at the national level, in K-12 and in higher ed, and I really think outside the box. So it's not just that I have that experience. I'm not wed to doing things the same way that they've always been done.
Dr. Sachs, always a pleasure to talk to you. We wish you the best of luck. We'll talk again soon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Dave.
Dr. Casey Sachs, again, president of Bridge Valley, but also a candidate for the Kanawha County Board of Education. 29 minutes away from 10. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Fruit Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you part by Fresh Air. They can change those heating and cooling unit air filters for your home, your retail establishment, your industrial business, church, restaurant, and they can also custom build filters for you. They offer 24-hour emergency service. Visit freshairfilters.us or call 304 let me try that again. 304-440-1104 for Fresh Air, because everyone deserves fresh air. Hollywood Jeff Petty is our producer today. Coming up on Talk Line with Hoppy, 10:06. Hoppy will get into the Kent Carper situation as well. I'll actually be joining him around 10:45 or so this morning to talk about it, as will, at the top of the show, U.S. Attorney for the Southern District, Will Thompson. He'll start it off, then Hoppy will get into some other things, and I'll come back at 10:45. Mark Curtis from WOWK-TV 13 locally here, political expert, or political report extraordinaire. He's awesome at what he does. He's going to be on with Hoppy to talk about some of the biggest races on the ballot tomorrow. Tim Brady from the Charleston Convention and Visitors Bureau on with Hoppy to talk about the USA Cycling Pro Road Nationals that are starting tomorrow, running through Sunday. Chris Steyerwalt will be on today, as will Ryan Schmelz of Fox News Radio on the resumption of the Trump case, including the testimony of Michael Cohen. That is all at Hoppy, coming up with Hoppy at 10:06. Let me knock out a couple of texts here for you. Text says, Dave, on Saturday, I received a political flyer for Doug Scaff, who's running for the office of Secretary of State as a Republican. In it, he's labeled as a proud conservative. Ha! Mr. Scaff, you're a former Democratic House Minority Leader and, more importantly, the president of HD Media, which publishes the progressive liberal Charleston Gazette Mail and Huntington Herald Dispatch. In my opinion, Mr. Scaff is a Trojan horse that will revert right back to his Democratic Party pedigree if he wins the Republican nomination for Secretary of State. Republicans, wake up. Do not vote for this lifelong Democrat who's only running as a Republican because he knows he wouldn't have a snowball's chance in hell of beating any Republican nominee in the general election if he were the Democratic nominee. Text says, Dave, can you please get an attorney, state police rep, AG rep, or state legislator on the show to talk about these cases? And there's a link to a story about animal cruelty. These innocent animals do not deserve to be treated this way, according to a texter. Text says, for all the experience Dr. Sachs has, does she not know that Polka is not in Kanawha County? Well, I think she was using that as an example, but I'm sure she does. Phone calls for the Dave Allen Show at service of Biggly Piggly Wiggly. When shopping at your Biggly Piggly Wiggly, be sure to join their loyalty program. You can save big at the gas pumps and throughout the store with their electronic coupons and free gifts on Fridays just for stopping by. From farm to table, Biggly Piggly Wiggly, the best kept secret in Charleston. Texting services provided by Fruth Pharmacy. Find the perfect over-the-counter hearing aid at Fruth with NuvoMed hearing aids plus Fruth. Makes it easier to transfer your prescription services to them. Fruth is your hometown family pharmacy. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses are small businesses with big impact, including Generations Physical Therapy and Snap Fitness.
Are you a gun owner? Then you'll want to vote for the true no-compromise Second Amendment champion, Patrick Morrisey, for governor. Patrick Morrisey has a proven track record of defending our right to keep and bear arms. As Attorney General, he expanded concealed carry reciprocity between states and supported constitutional carry. Patrick Morrisey also led a coalition of states challenging the ATF's unconstitutional pistol brace rule. And he took the Obama administration all the way to the Supreme Court to protect West Virginians' Second Amendment rights. That's why Gun Owners of America proudly endorses Patrick Morrisey for West Virginia governor. Get out and vote for Patrick Morrisey for governor. A vote for Patrick Morrisey is a vote for the strongest pro-gun candidate for governor. Gun Owners of America paid for and is responsible for the content of this message.
Thrive with 5 at the best community bank in the Kanawha Valley, Polka Valley Bank. Poca Valley Bank is now offering a certificate of deposit special, 10-month APY, annual percentage yield 5%. Take advantage of this great rate to grow your savings. For more information, stop by a Poca Valley Bank location today or call 844-782-2651. Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Certain terms and conditions apply. Rates based on minimum annual percentage yield. Subject to change without notice. Minimum deposit required of $10,000 of new money not currently on deposit with Poca Valley Bank to receive APY. Member FDIC.
Alex Mooney is from Maryland, and he votes like it. In Congress, Maryland Mooney voted against giving our troops a pay raise, and he opposed providing wounded veterans with better health care. It gets worse. Maryland Mooney wanted to give illegal immigrants driver's licenses and taxpayer-funded college tuition discounts. And he voted against Trump's wall, stiffing veterans to give taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. Maryland Mooney doesn't share our West Virginia values. Big Jim Justice is the best governor West Virginia's ever had. Big Jim is a strong conservative on protecting life and defending our Second Amendment. And he delivered the biggest tax cuts in West Virginia history. Endorsed by President Trump, Jim Justice will fight to finish the wall and secure our border. Big Jim is one of us, and he fights for us.
I'm Jim Justice, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Jim Justice for U.S. Senate.
We are professional grade. If you're up for the challenge, then you need to visit Thornhill GM Superstore on the Thornhill Motor Mile and get treated like a pro with the best deals on new GMC Sierra trucks and the new 2024 GMC Terrain. Go pro, but don't prolong. Qualified buyers can enjoy 3.9% for 60 months or an additional purchase allowance of up to $2,250 and no payments for 90 days. Get on the move. Go pro with Thornhill GM Superstore on the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 Chapmanville, and ThornhillGMSuperstore.com. Author G Financial. Visit Thornhill for all details.
22 minutes away from Tampa. Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you by Live Healthy West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine. Live Healthy tackles pressing health issues like heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, RSV, and more. It's a podcast offering insights into medical breakthroughs and preventative care, featuring WVU Medicine's expert physicians aimed at fostering healthier lifestyles and beyond West Virginia. Valuable resource for all. Discover the latest episodes on WVMetronews.com. Under the podcast menu, start your journey towards better health today. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline, 304-345-5858. The text line from Fruth, 304-935-5008. Text says, Dave, Casey, it's anti-public schools, wants to close down career centers like Carver. Says a texter. Texter says, Scaff is a liberal Democrat. Obviously, Chris Warner destroyed the West Virginia GOP when he was chairman and caused him to carry 20 years' worth of debt. Brian Wood is the sensible choice for Secretary of State, says a texter. Ashley Deem, candidate for judge here in Kanawha County, joins us. Ashley, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
How's the campaign been?
It's going really well. I'm really tremendously proud of the campaign that we've run here. So
why are you running?
Well, I'm running because I believe that Kanawha County can do better. I truly believe that we can run a more efficient courthouse. I believe that we need a judge who's tougher, but obviously very fair on crime. And I believe that the citizens of Kanawha County they want to see a change. I knew that before I filed to run, and I see it every day as I'm talking to voters.
What do voters tell you when you're out? I mean, I know you've been out on the campaign trail. I've seen you on social media, and you've been to various, meet the candidates forums, and you're going door to door. What do you hear from voters?
Well, I'm really proud. We made the decision to run a multifaceted campaign, really not kind of throwing all of our eggs in one basket. We've done a social media, television, direct mail, but really what I'm most proud of is our grassroots effort. As of today, I have 247 more doors to knock on to reach our goal of 10,000. And so in those 10,000 doors, I've met all kinds of different people. I've heard different complaints, different concerns that they have. Most people have never met a judicial candidate or a judge when I knock on their door. So, we try to take this campaign to the people rather than trying to bring them to us. And so I think they appreciate that. I think that they are concerned about crime in their communities. They're concerned about, some people have had to go to the courthouse. Lots of people haven't, but some people have. And when they have, they want to feel like they've had a fair shake, and sometimes that isn't the experience that they've walked away with.
You've been on the show before, but give us your background, the bio, and what qualifies you to be a judge here in Kanawha County.
Sure. Well, I'm an attorney. I worked as a law clerk to then Chief Justice Beth Walker. I worked in private practice at a products liability defense firm here in town called Thomas Combs and Spann. I helped set up the new Intermediate Court of Appeals where I currently work today. I'm a conservative. I'm endorsed by the West Virginia Republican Party, law enforcement, job creators, healthcare providers, and leaders from all across the state. And really, most importantly, I was born and raised here in Kanawha County. I'm an 8th-generation West Virginian. I currently live in South Charleston with my family. And so I want to bring my kind of unique experience in the appellate courts, also in private practice. I want to bring that to the Kanawha County Courthouse.
Ashley, I've noticed that there are several people that are running for various positions, whether it's judge or board of education, not only here but in other areas. So I live in Putnam County. I've seen it over there. That feel the need, even though it is a nonpartisan position, they feel a need to explain to people that, hey, I am a Republican or I'm a conservative. Why is that important to you?
It's really important. And I'll tell you, when I knock on doors, that's the first question people ask me. It's important to them. They want to know sort of ideologically where the candidates stand. I'll say that I am a conservative. It is a nonpartisan race, but I make no bones about being a conservative. And to me, that means I don't send two different mailers to Democrats and Republicans. I send the same thing. I think it's just important that people understand sort of where their elected officials come from ideologically. With all that being said, a judge can be a conservative and still be fair and still apply the law fairly to everyone who comes before them, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Talking with Ashley Deem, began as a candidate for circuit judge here in Kanawha County, and I say that because I've had candidates, let's say, for magistrate on the show before, and if I didn't ask them what their party was, invariably I get a text from somebody saying, you didn't ask them what their party was. Because it is important, like it or not, it is important, and it's kind of where we are politically right now.
It is, and the judicial canons sort of govern what you can and can't say about your belief system and your party and that sort of thing. But people sort of feel, and I see this on Facebook comments and things like that on my post, if you don't sort of lead with that, people think you're trying to hide the ball from them or hide something from them. And so I've just tried to be out front about it, open about it. And, I think that candidates either lean into it and West Virginia right now is a conservative state. Mm-hmm. And so I think, you see whether it's judicial candidates like my opponents sort of switching parties from Democrat to independent and then saying, well, let's not play politics in the courtroom. It's no longer convenient, that sort of thing. That's really not the approach I've taken. I've just sort of went with it and I am who I am and I'll be fair to everybody who comes before me.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. The Birds are on the road all this week into the weekend. They're off tonight, but begin a series against Gastonia on the road tomorrow night, followed by a series at High Point. The Birds return home next Tuesday against Hagerstown. For ticket information, promotion schedules, Dirty Birds gear and more, visit dirtybirdsbaseball.com. And by the way, have you seen the new line of barbecue gear the Birds have rolled out? Cutting boards, spatulas, everything the Dirty Bird fan needs to grill outright this summer. I shared it on my social media. You can check it out, too, on the social media pages of your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. All right, what do you see as the biggest issues facing the court system here in Kanawha County, Ashley?
I think we have an efficiency problem. We need to really get in, turn these cases around quicker. That helps with public perception of the courts and feeling like they're getting a fair shake in court. And I really have some big ideas that I want to bring as far as transparency to the courthouse. I think that we can definitely, whether it's, your everyday person walking in requesting documents, like that process needs to be better. Now we have e-filing in Kanawha County, so that's obviously going to go a long way in the transparency perspective. But I think that's a big issue, and I think that people don't have confidence right now a lot of times when they're about to walk into that courthouse, and I want to help resolve that issue.
You have a website or social media or somewhere where people can learn more about your campaign?
I do. I have a Facebook page. I also have my website, www.ashleydeem.com.
All right. Give me the final 30 seconds here before we let you go. Why should someone vote for Ashley Deem for judge?
Sure. I truly care about the people of Kanawha County. I'm going to be a judge who's tough but fair. As a conservative, I'll always uphold the Constitution, respect the rule of law, and I'll never legislate from the bench. I really enjoy the administrative side also of operating a court as well, which I've been doing. And like I said, I have big ideas for bringing some additional transparency to the county courthouse. I feel that I'm in the prime of my career, and I'm going to be the hardest working judge you've ever seen.
Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to be here.
Thanks
Best
for
of luck.
having me. Thank you very much.
Ashley Deem, it is 9:45. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. The text line from Fruth 304-935-5008. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk. We're going to kind of keep it in the courtroom. Deborah Rusnak, who is a candidate for prosecuting attorney in Kanawha County, is going to join us next. We'll talk to her right after this from the Parmar Store studio in the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you a physical therapy assistant and looking for an opportunity in orthopedics, wellness, and athletic care? If so, Generations Physical Therapy is offering flexible work hours and an upbeat atmosphere. With 7 convenient locations, Generations may have a job designed for you. Visit generationspt.com.
Mark Carter is the true conservative running for House of Delegates in District 57. Mark Carter has a conservative record and has served Presidents Trump and Bush.
I am Mark Carter, and I am grateful to be endorsed by the West Virginia Chamber of Commerce, the manufacturers, hospital, bankers, home builders, coal, and oil and gas associations, and West Virginians for life.
Vote for the true conservative. Vote for Mark Carter for House of Delegates. Paid for by Mark Carter for West Virginia.
Hey, it's Dave Allen for Parmar Stores. And now that the warm weather months are here, you know where you need to be, your local Parmar store. Heading to the lake, the ball field, or your favorite picnic site, or just working around your place, Parmar has everything you'll need, from gas to grocery, snacks, and much, much more. Download the Parmar app and sign up for the Parmar Rewards Card. Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
Republican Eric Nelson is the candidate for state senate that Kanawha County families can count on. Senator Eric Nelson has helped create thousands of good-paying jobs and voted to give West Virginians the largest tax cut in our state's history. Voting for Eric Nelson, you know what you get. Better roads, more jobs, lower taxes, and the best education for our children. Eric Nelson supports West Virginia conservative values. Vote to re-elect Senator Eric Nelson. Paid for by the committee to elect Eric Nelson.
We are professional grade. If you're up for the challenge, then you need to visit Thornhill GM Superstore on the Thornhill Motor Mile and get treated like a pro with the best deals on new GMC Sierra trucks and the new 2024 GMC Terrain. Go pro, but don't prolong. Qualified buyers can enjoy 3.9% for 60 months or an additional purchase allowance of up to $2,250 and no payments for 90 days. Get on the move. Go pro with Thornhill GM Superstore on the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 Chapmanville, and ThornhillGMSuperstore.com. Author GM Financial. Visit Thornhill for all details.
An important message from Governor Jim Justice.
I love the entire Trump family, and I hope and pray President Trump wins. More Capito wants President Trump to win, too. Many of you asked me, who would do the best job as our next governor? I say More Capito. He's the only Republican I endorsed. Simply put, you trusted me. We pulled the rope together. We've got to make the right decision because you're worth it. Baby Dog and I stand with More Capito.
Paid for by More Capito for West Virginia.
I'm Rocky Moselle with StarRegistry.com. Since we were children, we've been told to reach for the stars. It was great advice. Now it's a great gift. Name a star after someone. For $54 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com, we will name a star after someone very special to you and send an incredible personalized gift. The new star name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Call the Star Registry, 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com for the hottest gift.
It's 11 minutes away from 10 on this day before the election. I don't know if you know it, but there's an election tomorrow. Bigley, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Fruit Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. Text says, if Kent Carper wins, does that mean it automatically goes to Natalie Tennant? No. It doesn't. We explained it a little bit earlier with Deke Kersey. It's very complicated. Even as somebody who worked in the Secretary of State's office, as I did, it is a very complicated process. We're going to get into it a little bit further next hour on Talk Line. Will Thompson, who is the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District, is going to join Hoppy top of the show. Then I'm going to come back at 10:45. So basically, in case you missed the interview with Deke Kersey, if Natalie Tennant, who is the other Democrat running for county commission, Natalie Tennant wins, that's it. But there's still, she would not take office if she wins. Well, she still got, let me back up. She'd have to go through the general election in November. But there still has to be a new county commissioner. So basically, the Democratic Executive Committee will choose someone. The county commission then gets involved. So there's going to be another county commissioner, if this makes any sense at all, what I'm trying to say, because somebody has to finish out the term of Kent Carper, and it can't be Natalie Tennant at this point because if she comes in second to Kent Carper, and Kent Carper's name will still be on the ballot tomorrow, if she comes in second place, well, then she didn't win. And then somebody's going to have to fulfill the rest of the term. So a whole lot to be worked out between now and then. I can tell you this, though. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you part by Bridge Valley. If you're interested in improving your company's IT workforce, you're going to want to know Bridge Valley offers custom-tailored IT training to bridge the skills gap. At Bridge Valley, you can train for little or no cost with a 50-50 salary match. They can also supply skilled graduates and apprenticeships for your company. Visit bridgevalley.edu/apprenticeships for more information. It has been an intense battle for prosecuting attorney in this primary election here in Kanawha County. Deb Rusnak would like to hold that office, and she joins us now. Deborah, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dave. Thanks for having me.
So how's the campaign been so far?
It's been interesting. It has. It's been quite the journey, but I'll say I have continued to focus on my campaign, my race, what I'm doing, and getting my name out to the public to let everyone know that I am the most qualified candidate for prosecuting attorney in Kanawha County.
I know we try to stay above the fray, especially on the judicial races here, and it's very important that we try to do that. But I don't think anyone would disagree with the fact that it's been a nasty campaign.
It certainly has. I again have decided, rather than engage in any social media bickering or any childish banter, I will, again, take the high road. I will focus on my campaign. I will focus on my experience and what I have to bring to the office, and I'm going to keep moving forward.
I want to talk about your experience that you mentioned there in the intro. Talk about your experience.
So experience matters, especially in this situation. Last week, I obtained the number of felony cases that I have handled as lead counsel in the prosecutor's office, compared to the number of cases that my opponent has had. And that's first chair felony cases. That means taking the lead. My name is the number one first name on the case. I am responsible for what happens. That number for me was 360 cases. The number my opponent has had for the same type of search was 17. That speaks volumes as to not only the experience I have in the courtroom, but the experience I have in the office. And, we start each case with the highest burden in the justice system, and that's beyond a reasonable doubt. And we carry that burden throughout the entire case. And oftentimes, we are forced to go to trial on cases and reach that burden. And I've done so time and time again. It's a hard burden to reach without a clear understanding of the law and the rules. And I think my experience, I have mentioned 360 cases. That's not the number of cases I've been involved in. That's the number of cases I've been lead counsel on. The number of cases that I've worked alongside other attorneys in my office, I couldn't begin to count.
Let's talk about your you, the person, your bio. Give us a little bio on Deb Rusnak.
So I'm 41 years old. I have a 25-year-old daughter, a 26-year-old stepson. My husband, Jason, and I have been together for close to 17 years. I was born and raised in Kanawha County. I was raised by Christian parents. My dad worked at DuPont, retired from DuPont. My mom was a homemaker. So I come from humble beginnings. I don't come from a family of attorneys or a bunch of money. I've worked for everything I've ever had, and I know how to put forth the effort that it takes to succeed.
What do you see as the biggest issues in the office? And if you are elected, how do you hope to go about fixing what you see as issues in the office?
There are certain different issues that I see. Largely, I see a staffing issue. We do not have a full staff of attorneys or support staff. And that's a goal, a priority that needs to be addressed, is getting not only just any attorney or any member of the support staff, but qualified people who can come in, who are not afraid to try cases, and who have a good, solid understanding of the criminal justice system and criminal law. And so to be able to staff an office with those types of people is important. I also see some issues with people being released on low bonds. I'm not saying that we should do away with PR bonds or low bonds entirely, but they should be reserved for certain crimes where they're not crimes of violence. We should not have violent offenders being released on low bonds, getting back out, reoffending while they're supposed to be on bond. If we set that bond high enough in the first instance, then it is unlikely that they will reoffend while they're on bond.
What's the biggest misconception about the prosecuting attorney's office? I mean, you've been around, and there are those of us in the public, myself included, that may have some misconceptions about the office. What are some of the biggest misconceptions about the prosecuting attorney's office, the way our judicial system is set up?
So there are a few different things. I think a huge misconception is that our office isn't out here trying cases. We're not handling cases. The number of cases that come through that office would astound most members of the public. And to be able to filter through those cases and pick apart the facts, pick apart the law, apply that law to the facts, and have a good, solid understanding of the case that you have is not always an easy thing to do. And of course, the public wants everyone to, let's put these people in prison, let's do this. But we have, again, that highest burden in the justice system that we have to meet. And to do so fairly, justly, and to do it right is not always an easy task. But our office is succeeding in doing so. And if you look at the numbers of convictions that we have, the numbers of violent offenders that we have been keeping off of the streets, again, I think members of the public would be astounded.
You have a website or social media people can learn more about you?
I do. My website is www.deborah.rusnak, and that's DebraRusnak.com. I have a Facebook page. That's Deborah Rusnak for Kanawha County Prosecutor on Facebook. And there's a lot of information out there about me. I again, really would ask members of the public, reach out to your candidates. Get to know your candidates. Know their background. Know their history. Know their experience. Because, I'm in the office now. And it allows me a unique insight compared to other people because I am able to see the areas in which the office is succeeding and the areas in which we need improvement. And to be able to identify that and understand how to fix the areas that need improvement without negatively affecting the areas where we're already succeeding is going to be very important in this next election because you're going to have someone that's able to do that. And I believe that I'm that person.
Give me the final 30. Why should someone vote for Deborah Rusnak for prosecuting attorney in Kanawha County?
Because I am experienced. I have a solid understanding of not only the law, but the inner workings of the office. The Kanawha County Prosecutor's Office is an office that has over 50 employees. And we need someone that is not just able to run that office, but to be the leader that the office needs and the leader that the people in that office want to follow. And I am that person.
Appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me, Dave.
Thanks a lot, Deborah Rusnak. And I just realized I've probably been pronouncing your last name wrong this whole time because I've just said Rusnak, and you prefer Rusnak.
It's, you know what? Who cares?
Just Deb.
I'm just Deb. I'm just, like everyone else. My last name's weird. Sorry,
It's all good.
Anybody can say it however they want to. I'm okay with that.
All right, as long as they vote for you tomorrow.
That's right. That's right. Get out there and vote.
Call her whatever. Call her George if you want to, as long as you vote for her. All right, Deborah, I appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot. Best of luck with the campaign over the next 24 hours or so. All right?
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Deborah Rusnak again. All right, we got to go. If you haven't done so already, make sure you download the all-new Metro News TV app. You can enjoy your favorite Metro News programs, Talkline, Sportsline, Three Guys, and more. The new Metro News TV app for Apple TV, iOS, Android, Roku, Amazon, and more. Metro News for your ears and your eyes with the Metro News TV app. My producer was Hollywood Jeff Petty. Thank you so much. Coming up on the show tomorrow, Kanawha County Board of Education candidate Emily Lanham is on the show tomorrow. Candidate for prosecuting attorney Morgan Switzer is on the show tomorrow. Candidate for AG Mike Stewart and Secretary of State Mac Warner. Follow the news of the day at WVMetroNews.com and at WCHSNetwork.com. I will see you tomorrow, Election Day. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM 96.5 FM Charleston and 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.